Hi, my name is Jonathan Moriarty, and this is my classroom-based assessment. So you can see here we have our classroom-based assessment task, and it's that I've made a new dining room table at home with a top surface made from beech. I would like to add a finish or preservative to that table to extend its life and make it more aesthetically pleasing. What possible solutions could be used that would be easy to apply and food safe? So to start things off for this task, what I did was I looked into what finishing was, and I found out that finishing is applying a preservative or finish to a piece of wood or artifact once it's at the final stage of production to both preserve the material and make it more aesthetically pleasing. So from that I took down some initial ideas just from finishes that were used at home on our furniture. So on our stairs and our floors we used varnish. On outdoor furniture we had wood preserver used, and we also had some beeswax and the odd bits of indoor furniture. So they were my initial ideas for what to put on the dining room table. And then I reflected on some feedback I got then. So with my peers I got some feedback, and I realized I may have misunderstood or misinterpreted part of the brief. However, the key constructive criticism I got was guiding me in the successful solution, and they told me that I should highlight keywords in the brief, such as food safe, easy to apply, and research finishes with those traits. I should also try to expand on existing finishes, so because there are much more than just 3 of them available. I should also try to focus on natural finishes that are suitable for indoor use. This will help narrow my search for a suitable finish. So I was asking myself, what next? What will I research and investigate next to get to that stage? So the next step was to research into investigate into finishes that are safe to be in contact with food. This will satisfy my brief and narrow my search pattern. I done this mainly on the internet. It was also important to me to research into more finishes that were easy to apply, natural, and aesthetically pleasing. So I got some very, very good results, and what I found is that a lot of finishes out there can actually satisfy my brief, and these were the finishes that I found can do that: pure tung oil, raw linseed oil, beeswax, walnut oil, mineral oil, carnauba oil, Danish oil. Now, I didn't have my exact solution yet, so what I did was I got some more peer feedback, and I was hoping this would guide me in the right direction. So prior to new solutions being presented, I found that I got much more positive feedback than the first feedback session. This very much helped me guide me in the right direction. They said that I was paying more attention to the brief, and this ensured that the criteria would be met. But they also suggested, this is a very good suggestion I found, was that I investigate further into what was available locally and ask what local professionals and tradesmen used themselves. This was what really guided me in the right direction. So, following this feedback, I made a trip to the local hardware Fitzgerald's Home Value in Dingle, and I saw what finishes they had available locally. This was very good because if we did run out of finish applying this, I could simply just nip back up to the shop and get some more. Whereas if I was buying online and I ran out of it, I'd probably have to wait 3 to 5 days to get some more in. Now, there was a chance that not all wood on the list would be available, and that was the case. So the wood finishes that were available to us were Rustin's Danish oil, linseed oil, tung oil, and beeswax. What I found very surprising here was the price difference between the oils and the beeswax. The oils ranged from €7 to €7.50, whereas the beeswax was €18.50. So from that I sought the advice of a local tradesman, Tommy Griffin, and I asked him what might be the best finish. And he himself said that the oils are a much more beneficial option than the beeswax because they're more cost effective and they're easier to apply, if not as easy. And realistically, I found this is very good advice. So I then went on and researched into a bit more on the 3 oils that are available. So the advantages to pure tung oil. Pure tung oil is waterproof and it's also resistant to alcohol. It's easy to apply, rub on, rub off, and it's non-toxic and food safe. So that ticked all the criteria that I was looking for. Danish oil then, it's very easily applied also, highly water and moisture resistant, hard wearing and durable. I thought that was an excellent trait to have if it's being applied to a dining room table, because there's going to be a lot of wear and tear on that with plates and cups over the years, and that was a very good trait to have. It also enhanced the natural beauty of open grain wood, which I thought was an excellent trait too. The linseed oil was water resistant, and it was easy to reapply if the original finish becomes worn or damaged. To me, that trait didn't matter too much, because realistically I wanted something that would have been durable, because I didn't want to reapply it. The linseed oil, for me, this wasn't a great trait to have, and I felt out of the three here, the winner so far was the Danish oil. So what I done then was I did a bit more of an investigation on YouTube, and I found a very nice video where they compared three of these oils on a simple piece of wood. So I'm going to play this video, but I'm just going to skip forward to the important parts and just kind of talk about what I found here. So here he's just going to go through applying the finishes on the piece of wood. In the first two sections here, he's applying boiled linseed oil, and he's also applying the tung oil. See, they're very easily applied, and it's also very much the same here with the Danish oil. So that was just the application process. All three of them were very easy to apply, very simple, very straightforward. So I'm just going to skip forward another bit now to just where it shows. So here he's comparing how the finishes looked after 3 to 4 coats each. Remember again, the first two sections are the boiled linseed oil and the tung oil. You can see here as he shines the light that there's a very light sheen to both of them, and it doesn't look as if any oil is left on the surface. So that's a very good trait for both of them. So here he's going to show the Danish oil, and I feel here it really shows that the Danish oil is the winner. This is the Danish oil here, and you can see it's a pure film finish, and it's so sheen, no marks or anything on it. I feel really this is where the Danish oil stood out. And then to top it all off, what I also done then was I tested the Danish oil out for myself on a piece of beech, and I found it gave a lovely satin sheen finish, and it really was just so easy to apply, effortless. There was a nice bit of time between drying of coats, but I still found it was just an outstanding finish to use. So just to reflect on what I learned, I feel this is a very good task for me, because it got me to actively engage with the CBA and learn about different types of finishes through research and investigation. And as John Dewey said, we do not learn from experience, we learn on reflecting on experience. And I found that was very true throughout this CBA. Looking back, I can see some key areas where I can improve upon for the next CBA, such as not getting fixated on my initial ideas, seeking regular feedback from teachers and peers to guide the learning. I found this was very helpful throughout the whole process. Use many resources for research and investigation, such as internet, asking local professional tradesmen and retailers, and also testing out products. Doing this gives you a multitude of answers for one problem, and it's the best way forward, because it ensures you're getting the best answer possible. And also managing all the information gathered in an organized manner. This was very important for me, because it aided the comparison and contrasting ideas and solutions, and I found that really helped me get the best solution and best idea possible. So thank you very much. My name is Jonathan Marty, and that was my CBA.